thought it could be fun to do a review of TV seasons as they finish. Not all of them that I watch, because I watch far too many, and I would literally have hundreds of videos to do. But yeah, just some of them. Legends of Tomorrow has just finished its 3rd season. Let's review that. Let's talk about it. DC's Legends of Tomorrow is part of the Arrowverse, or Flowerverse, or Flower Girl of Tomorrowverse, whatever you want to call it. It's part of those shows. And it would be fair to say that it didn't get off to a strong start. Season 1 was pretty awful for the most part. It had some good moments, Future Star City being one of those episodes, and it did improve towards the end, but it was bogged down by Hawkgirl and Hawkman, who were awful characters, and Vandal Savage, who was a pretty crappy bad guy. Yeah, Season 1 didn't live up to the expectations that I had for this show. Season 2 came along, and it was like the writers went, fuck it, let's just be stupid, let's just do whatever we want. Should we do this? Oh, can't do that, it's a really silly idea. Then we're doing it. That seemed to be the mantra for Season 2. And it really made the show better. Season 3? Boy, have they carried on with that path. Season 3 is some of the most ridiculous television that I've ever seen. To the point where I can't take Legends of Tomorrow seriously anymore. All the dramatic stakes that they have and sort of the big serious episodes, I can't look at them in a serious manner, because a few episodes before we've had something absolutely bonkers happen. This may sound like a negative, this may sound like me talking about the show's problems. I actually kind of love it. The show has stopped giving a shit so much that it's just such a fun ride. And yeah, I wish I could invest more in these characters. I wish I could take certain things seriously, but when I'm having this much fun with something at the same time, yeah, I'm cool with it. Season 3 focused on Malice, who is voiced by John Noble, who appears in an episode. That episode is called Guest Starring John Noble because, as I say, they've stopped caring. And Malice had a hard job to do following on from the Legion of Doom from Season 2. That consisted of Damien Dark, of Malcolm Merlyn, of Ibard Thorn. Like, it was a great combination of villains, and it was always going to be very hard to match up to that. Malice didn't match up to that at all. It was good hearing John Noble's voice. I love me some John Noble. But the villain himself, there was nothing to him. He was all just grandiose talk. That's all he did. And then in the end, he just revealed himself to be this giant winged demon thing. And he was taken down by a giant stuffed toy that was channeled by the totems of the legends. This show. Week after week, I would send a message to a friend of mine saying, guess what Legends have done this week? And every time he didn't believe me. He thought I was making things up. Like, as if Gorilla Grodd was saying, let's make America Grodd again. At least, as if he was going after Barack Obama while he was... They wouldn't do that. Yeah, they would. Because nothing is off the table. But then some of the best episodes of this season are when they're doing that. There's a great E.T. homage with Ray and... a baby Dominator alien that's just so wonderful to watch, even though it's absurd. You can have dinosaurs roaming the streets. You can have a time bureau somehow set up that's now going after our heroes as they try to undo all the problems that they've created throughout time. And it really does work. I look forward to watching this show because I don't know what I'm going to get. I mean, Christ, the season finale. The season finale of one of these shows, which are normally the big dramatic episode, was called The Good, the Bad and the Cuddly. If that doesn't tell you what Legends of Tomorrow is now, then nothing will. We got some new characters in Season 3, and we lost some as well. Mari was... She took a while to find her place on the team, I think, but she seems to have settled in nicely by the end of it. Wally West is the perfect character to bring over to this. He's been almost lost in Flash for a while now. It's to the point where he left. Like, he hasn't been around and there didn't seem a lot for him to do. On Legends, it feels like the character's found where he needs to be and where he works best. I can't wait to see more of Wally in Season 4. And the same goes with John Constantine. Constantine is a great character. I've still not got around to watching all of his show yet, all of his one-season show. I do mean to. I will watch it at some point. But I love this character. I love Matt Ryan's portrayal of him. And if he's going to be a regular in season 4 as well, then I'm fully on board with that. It's a good cast. But in saying that, losing a couple of members did make things feel a little bit strange on the Wave Rider. In many ways, Victor Garber's character, Martin Stein, was the heart and soul of this. He was the beating heart of the Legends, and taking him away, yeah, he was missed. It didn't feel like there was anybody there to really fill the role that he had. And then to lose Jax so soon afterwards as well, which I think is a real shame, because I wanted to see where Jax went without Martin Stein. It just, yeah, as I say, it took something away from the show that it wasn't able to give back with the new characters that it got. Even by the time season 3 came to a close, it still felt like there was something missing, and multiple episodes had passed since then. As for Martin Stein's death, it was good. It was, but the problem is that it took place in the crossover episodes. So while this was one of the rare times something with Legends happened that made me feel something, it got me emotional, it wasn't a Legends episode. All of those episodes feel like their own thing. They don't feel like they're individual shows when they do these crossovers. And yeah, Martin Stein's death worked well for that, but it didn't really feel like it gave Legends any more importance. It maybe didn't help that the following episode, where we actually had the team dealing with the fact that he was gone, also introduced us to a giant blue cuddly toy named Bebo, who was being worshipped by a group of Vikings. But then I love that as well. Man, this show confuses me. But then I think part of the reason why I'm so willing to go along with whatever crazy ride they're going to cook up next is that I do like these people. Sarah Lance is great. Ray Palmer is a favourite of mine ever since he first appeared on Arrow. In fact, he was one of the few good things about Arrow Season 3, and he's still good now. Dominic Purcell is incredible in this. Like, his Mick is just, every single scene that he's in, he steals. Wentworth Miller came back as well, and it was great seeing his new version of Leonard Snart. Nate and Amaya are one of the few relationships in the Arrowverse that I can actually get behind. I believe in these two as a couple, and I'm kind of rooting for them as well. I also really like the character of Ava. I'm still not 100% sure what was going on with her being a clone. That didn't seem to get the exploration that it needed, but hopefully she'll be back next season as well, so we can see more of it. I do think it's a shame that Rip got sidelined again. He was one of the highlights for me of the first season, and I wasn't happy when he was removed in season 2. I wasn't happy to see him go again, and yeah, he got a heroic death at the end, but it feels like there's more to tell with Rip Hunter. I want to know more about this character, and personally I just want to see more of Arthur Darvill, because I really like him. And a surprising highlight for me this season was Damien Dark. He's been around for a while now. He was one of the best things about Arrow Season 4, and when I say one of the best things, he was probably the only good thing in that season. The season was awful. But as much as I liked the character, I was starting to feel like he was beginning to wear out his welcome a little bit. But then this did something interesting with him. It didn't so much give him a redemption arc as such, but it gave him a purpose. He was there, he was helping Malice, obviously, he was doing his evil Damien Dark things, but he had his daughter around, who was also a great character in this. And he ended up almost fighting for the good guys in order to save his daughter, and he went out like a hero, and I would not have seen that coming from Damien Dark. Yeah, I love the character. I do hope they don't bring him back, though. I'm happy with the ending he got here. It feels like that character's reached the natural end of his journey. But yeah, I was really happy with Damien Dark in this season. They did good things with him. But yeah, for season 4, I do think, while they need to still be stupid and still need to be silly, because it's part of what makes Legends so endearing, I do feel they need to rein it in a little bit, because I want to be able to feel the serious moments. I want to be able to get invested in the actual story rather than just waiting for the next funny line or ridiculous thing to happen. I definitely don't want them to do away with it altogether, though, because that end of season 3, the giant Bebo, was one of the best things I've seen on television this year. It was so stupid and so mad that I was fully on board with them doing it. I've come to expect it from this show now, but yeah, focus more on the villains in season 4. Focus more on some of the serious side of it as well, so I can actually get properly invested. Overall, I'm going to give Legends of Tomorrow season 3 a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I've gone 0.5 because I really had a panic there where I didn't know whether to do 7 or 8. Thank you for watching. What do you think of Legends of Tomorrow? Are you a fan? Have you liked it the whole way through? Is it too ridiculous for you? Let me know. Let's have a talk about it. I'll do reviews as well, I think, for Arrow, Supergirl and The Flash when they finish. I'm not sure how positive some of those are going to be, particularly with The Flash. Show's trying my patience this season. You can follow me on Twitter at JoePJulians. Hit like on the video if you want to. It would help me out and I'd appreciate it. You could also hit subscribe too, so I can see that little number go up and I'll smile about it. But yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next video.